Man City are the biggest cheats that English football has ever seen, and perhaps the most incredulous aspect of their financial doping is how few fucks they give that all the information about it is out in the public domain. Now, we all know about the 115 charges leveled against them by the Premier League, but have been told very little about what each of them specifically entails, so I wanted to shed some light on what's already been proven, which will not only blow your mind, but should be enough to expel City from the Prem without even taking all their other fraudulent practices into account. Let's go back to when it all first started in 2018. This is when German outlet Der Spiegel, who are known for their investigative journalism, used Rui Pinto, a famous Portuguese hacker, to gain access into email accounts of several football clubs and agents, one of which was Manchester City. The documents they got a hold of showcased attempts to cover up the source of the club's income in a bid to comply with FFP rules. A member of City's senior management stated that if they did get caught, they'd rather spend £30 million on the 50 best lawyers in the world to sue UEFA and the Premier League for the next 10 years than consent to being punished, which goes a long way in explaining why court cases against them keep going on and on with seemingly no end in sight. Shortly after, City were handed a 2-year ban from European competition in 2020 after a UEFA-appointed panel found serious breaches of financial rules in their accounts. The Court of Arbitration for Sport overturned this decision and instead fined City £8.9 million. The key point here is, though, it wasn't because City were innocent. In fact, they were as guilty as sin, but UEFA had their hands tied behind their back because the period in question was time-barred, and the statute of limitations kicked in. More recently, City have been accused of providing misleading information over a 9-year period from 2009 to 2018, a span in which they went from being absolute nobodies to dominating the English top flight. The Prem's PSR rules are designed to ensure clubs spend what they earn. Manchester City, being the crooks that they are, got around this by inflating how much they were making through shell companies. Essentially, they partnered up with firms that don't even exist to make it seem like they were making profits from an array of different businesses, even though in reality it was the owners' own money coming back into the club to ensure the books were well maintained. There's countless examples of this, the first of which is 8xBet. It has all the hallmarks of a fake company, a founder who doesn't seem to exist online and a CEO appearing to hide behind a stolen avatar. A deleted LinkedIn account for Trin Tru Trang previously claimed she was the bookmaker's boss, but it turned out her profile picture is the same one being used in an advertisement for an Employee of the Month photo frame by Laser Designs, a company that sells gifts in Colorado, yours for just $45 US. The next is 3Key. This so-called partnership was so shady that City had to part ways with them after reports revealed the company had no management team, no staff, no active products, no assets, and were registered to a mailbox in London. Perhaps the worst of the lot though is QNet, an official partner of City since 2014. They've been implicated in human trafficking networks and face allegations of being a Ponzi scheme which has contributed to the financial ruin and suicides of thousands around the world. Unfortunately, that's just the tip of the iceberg. Football leagues found that Roberto Mancini received a salary not only from City, but also a larger annual consultancy fee from Al Jazeera Club, a group controlled by Sheikh Mansour. This was done in order to circumvent UEFA's FFP rules and ensure they were able to attract and retain the best in class despite being a tin pot club, and that practice likely continues to this day. It doesn't just stop at first team level either. City recruited Brahim Diaz, now of Real Madrid, as a 14-year-old from Malaga. FIFA rules place severe restrictions on the movement of minors, but City paid a bribe of 360,000 euros to Malaga indirectly via Spanish intermediaries to ensure the move went through. Taking all of this into account, I think it's fair to say that City's success means very little. They're nothing but a vehicle for sports washing, and they're doing so at the expense of fair and honest competition, which is what sport is all about. While silverware is great for Abu Dhabi, what's of even more importance is positioning themselves as a credible global brand and leader to help further their political agenda. Given the UK government are in bed with the UAE, it's highly unlikely anything happens to City in the long run. In fact, by punishing City, the Premier League would also be opening up a can of worms in terms of law cases by other clubs in the league, especially those who finished 5th and missed out on Champions League revenue over the past decade. Roman Abramovich and the Americans started the decay of football, and now Abu Dhabi, Qatar, and the Saudis look like killing it off completely. Do let me know your own take on all of this down below, and I'll catch you in the next one, folks. Peace.